What up, my freaks? RuinousInsight here with part 23 of my Total Warhammer II modded Arkhan the Black campaign. So as we saw last time, a fairly administrative episode, as in mostly administrative episode, saw us get a lot of stuff done, just not a lot of fighting. We did set up the battle for the Black Pyramid of Nagash, which we are going to get to in about 30 seconds. And in addition to that, we got several of our new armies setting up, and they are starting to get going. We should have the Ushabti army in particular out very soon, as a number of Ushabti are already ready to go. We're basically just missing our Necrotech and a few more of these great bow Ushabti. So I'm excited to start getting to use that, as I remember doing so in vanilla and spamming Ushabti in basically all armies. But this one we're going to go basically all Ushabti, so that'll be pretty fun. Anyway, I believe that's it. I did everything that needed to be done between the episodes, so we are ready to go with regards to the fight for the Black Pyramid of Nagash. Let's get to it. King Setup, you will be supporting Arkhan, and I think we're going to attack you outside because we want to be able to fight this in the field. I just feel like it'll be a lot more fun. Alright, there you go, King Setup, and Arkhan, you are going to target this lord, Hatmas. And let's do it. This is going to be fun. It's going to be a huge battle. 2 stacks versus 4 stacks. I expect at least 10,000 units on the field. Looks pretty even, although a little bit in our favor. And I'm not surprised now that we have the Hex rates and the Karen race. Plus, we have more line holders in this army. This is looking pretty good. Let's just see what we're working with in terms of the enemies here. Let's see, basic spears and stuff, that's basic, but they got 2 units of Ushabti with Great Bow, which are pretty frightening units. A regular Ushabti, another Ushabti here. Fairly decent amount of range units, more Nehekaran Warriors. I see some Tomb Guard, and ooh, the Settlement Garrison is the most powerful army by far. They got a bunch of Tomb Guard, a bunch of range units, several more Ushabti, a Great Bow Ushabti, a Cameron War Sphinx, and a Necro Sphinx, so there's definitely some toughies in there. Let's see what we can do against them, shall we? Alrighty, here we go. It's been a long time coming and setting up, but finally we get to face off against the armies of the Sentinels around the Black Tower of, around the Black Pyramid, rather, of Nagash. So, this is going to be a pretty interesting battle because there's so many enemies on the field, and they're going to keep on coming. And yeah, definitely going to be one of those marathon, not a race type of deals. So, we start off in the corner simply because our reinforcing army is approaching from there. Got a pretty simple setup with our 2 units of Karen rates in the front, just in case the enemy starts trying to pelt us with arrows, because I believe these guys will still have more missile resistance than the Whites of Stone Rat army. We also have Arkhan out even more in the front, so he can get ready to summon stuff. We have our 3 units of Caskets who are going to come in very, very handy in this particular battle, considering how many enemies are going to be on the field. We're going to keep them shooting for as long as possible. Going to try to keep the enemies distracted and away from our main line for as much as possible until we basically run out of ammo from the artillery. Obviously, we're going to be guarding them from the spawn of the Ushabti, the Realm of Souls, and damn, you gotta love watching the Casket artillery hit. It feels almost as good as the Hellstorm rocket battery, but still pretty damn good. So over here we also have our Hex Wraiths. They are on the side because all of the Wraith units have stock. They can move invisible, and we are going to be able to use them to charge the rear lines of the enemy forces, as well as these 2 separate units of Karen Wraiths who are going to act as a sort of I suppose flanking force. We're only going to do that for one side, though. I decided to go on this side because we have so many extra melee units coming in out of our reinforcing line, our reinforcing army, that there's really no point in covering both sides with flankers, especially as the enemy is coming this way. They're a lot less likely to come in this way. And here we go, the Hex Wraiths have begun moving, but until then, the enemy has a long way to travel. Of course, the Tomb Kings are very, very slow-moving armies, especially when they're primarily units that aren't quick-moving, relatively quick-moving constructs or horses or chariots, but these skeleton soldiers, they're going to take a while to get to us. Oh, I love how you can see the bats hovering over the dunes over there. Absolutely glorious. And of course, our Hex Wraiths still moving over there. They're still hidden. They can't be seen. So we are going to get some use out of that. Ooh, that's a nice pyramid in the background as well. I take it that's the Black Pyramid? I wonder if this is a special map or not. Oh, wait, but there's another pyramid over here. Another one over here. It's all pyramids here. The capstone looks... No, it's bronzish color. Maybe this isn't the Black Pyramid. Well, then I don't know where it is. Maybe it was never on the map. Anyway, let's get back to the actual battle. So far, not so much a battle as artillery spray, which we've seen plenty of in the non-field battle type maps, but we do finally summon 2 units of zombies and try to push them forward. I was able to summon them both immediately by using Arkhan's recharge scroll. Just going to send them forward because they're going to distract these units, allow us to get more artillery shots in, and that is exactly what we're going to try to do the most. And then an enemy unit of Carrion tried to charge Arkhan by himself, but we do have our bats ready to guard and ready to kill these guys, especially with their insane melee defense. Carrion aren't going to have a great time against them. Their soldiers, rather, are starting to move closer to our lines, but unfortunately for them, this also means that their range units, i.e. 2 units of Ushabti with great bows, as well as 2 units of skeleton archers, are completely unprotected, getting ready for a charge by the Hex Wraiths. Damn, I love the Hex Wraiths. And here we go. Good luck, Ushabti with great bows. I mean, they can certainly still dish out some melee damage, though obviously not to the extent of regular melee Ushabti, but probably not to nearly the extent you need to deal with a unit of Hex Wraiths. There we go. Here comes a charge, and 2 more units moving in a sort of wedge. They're actually kind of getting blocked up, but that's okay, because they are mostly going to surround this unit of Ushabti with Great Bone. Let's see how much damage they've taken so far. This one has not really taken too much damage, but this one's dropped by, what, 25% already, so that's pretty good. The enemy are getting a Tomb King and 2 Tomb Kings on the War Sphinxes in. Fortunately, they don't appear to be... they don't appear to have magical damage weapons or anything on them, because while they do some damage, it's not nearly as much as you would think if they dealt magical damage and AoE. So we're looking pretty good despite their 3 lords being here. This skeleton archer unit is basically dead, and the Ushabti with Great Bow I've already dropped to about half HP, so the Hex Wraiths are certainly doing their job. In the meantime, big old battle happening here with several of our units of zombies crumbling, and us getting new zombies and new skeleton warriors on the field to try to keep blocking the enemy. Carrion have fallen, and we are now using the Cairn Wraiths as well as Snuggles to block this little pile of enemy units. A single unit of Ushabti and 3 units of skeleton soldiers gonna probably not be able to get through a unit of Cairn Wraiths led by Snuggles. That's way too much for these relatively weak units. In the meantime, the enemy have also summoned their Ushabti already. Pretty darn early, considering this is their first army, and the other 3 stacks have not gotten to the field. Of course, the Ushabti are going to get wrecked here, as they are surrounded by ethereal units, as well as some Tomb Guard with halberds, I believe I actually blocked in here. Can't really see anything. There we go. So those Ushabti are basically dead. Not really much to see there, mostly because they're crumbling, and we've seen this sort of thing a million times before. In the meantime, the enemy battle lines, I should say, are still approaching us, and you can see our battle lines are pretty darn clear like this, with the bats waiting in the wings, or on the wings, as it were, which a pun I've already made in the Throg campaign, but, you know, I'll reuse it. Waiting for the enemy range units to basically be separated from all their melee. In the meantime, our Cairn Wraiths are doing pretty darn decent. They've already destroyed that 1 unit of Ushabti with Great Bow and have not taken a lot of damage, and they've also healed basically most of the damage in fact, all of the damage they've taken, while we got 2 levels of Realm of Souls. It seems like the Realm of Souls does indeed activate from nothing but zombie deaths. Or, or it's that or it's enemy deaths. Because this seems to activate fairly early in the game, and the only thing we've lost here are zombies, haven't we? Let's see, as Tomb King's warriors die on their battle, blah, 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 blah. This doesn't really specify. Current deaths, 606. Yeah, that's definitely our deaths. It's not the enemy deaths. The enemies would have lost 1,000 units already. So it looks like it does count zombies, which certainly helps us. Good job, zombies. Look at them. They're standing here. They're being useful. They're not doing any damage, but they certainly are holding all these units back. And our scorpions, or our scorpion and our skeleton soldiers, which we have 2 units of now, I believe. One is from the priest or the necrotect, whichever one can summon one, and the other one is from Arkhan's ability to spawn them. We also have our Karen Wraiths still standing here completely unharmed because they just heal up any damage that they take, which is one of the things that makes Karen Wraiths work probably better with Arkhan than they do with the regular vampire counts, because he has both Invocation of Nahek and the Realm of Souls, so we can get a lot of healing out onto the Karen Wraiths. And it looks like the secondary force is arriving, of the enemy, so they got about 2 more armies to go after this. As well, they are starting to get those larger units into the fray, but we've damaged several of them, and we are going to move away with the Hex Rates for a little while, go back into the hidden stance, or state, I should say, and then move around and recharge with them. Our range units are still firing, and we still have plenty of ammo, so we're still looking pretty good, especially as our main line has not engaged in a single fight yet. They're still standing there, they're still waiting, we're getting shots off from all of our range units, and we're perfectly comfortable in the current state that we're in. Gotta love these gigantic battles, though. I feel like the Tomb Kings get the biggest early game battles, or early to mid-game battles of all the factions as compared to any of the anybody else. I'm trying to think of any other faction that would have anything like this, but not really. And look, we got that Tomb King coming in, but of course Snuggles is here, Arkhan is here, and it's surrounded by a unit of Karen Wraiths, who aren't going to take a lot of damage from our own missile fire. While this thing is, it's going to get its armor sundered due to the special unit, which I think is still in here, as I recall. And the enemy units are starting to approach, but this time we're going to charge some of their melee units, some of their skeleton warriors that were isolated with our Hex Wraiths once again, and these guys are going to have a terrible, terrible time, as they can't really survive an elite unit like this. Ironically, I believe the best use for Hex Wraiths is to fight actually elite units, as opposed to tons and tons of chaff units like this. Well, more so for Karen Wraiths, probably less so for Hex Wraiths. Hex Wraiths are pretty good against pretty much everything. And as you can see, they're killing these chaff infantry very, very easily, and then this other unit is going to keep chasing this poor unit of Ushabti with Great Bow that managed to get away last time, or rather that we nearly killed, but then had to pull out before we could destroy them, just because there were way too many units there, and we wanted to heal up. We're about to get our 3rd level Realm of Souls as well, and it looks like the first set of enemies are finally going to approach our battle lines over here, which we'll get to in a sec. I just want to see the charge of the Hex Wraiths. There we go. Not knocking any down on the charge, unfortunately, it looks like, but I assume that the damage is in there. Yeah, you can see the bar dropping, so there we go. This unit is not going to stick around for long, and the units that should have been protecting it are actually moving away, as opposed to try to turn around and protect our units. We might get some splash. No, it looks like it was very, very close. That's a little bit dangerous. You gotta really watch your damn caskets, or they'll destroy all your own units. And there we go. These guys are starting to drop. Beautiful. Alright, poor Ushabti with Great Bow aren't going to be doing anything else, and I believe they only get 1 more of those on the field. An enemy Tomb King has dropped to our pile of units here, being Arkhan and the Necrotect and Snuggles and the Karen Wraiths, and they're going to go straight after the other one. So the AI is sending all its lords in like this, and then they get stuck and killed, and it's quite effective for us. As I was saying, on this side, on this flank rather, the enemy is finally getting in to the battle lines, or it's finally connecting to our battle lines, while our center is still completely untouched. We still have half of our ammunition on our caskets as well, so we're doing pretty good there, and our western flank is also completely untouched. We have a Karen Wraith unit that's back here, and it's been identified by the enemy. It's getting pelted by the enemy range fire a little bit, but it should heal up just fine. Our Hex Wraiths, in the meantime, are doing a very, very good job and in destroying these melee troops over here. It looks like these two units are able to destroy all 3 units of Skeleton Warriors with basically no damage, maybe a tiny little bit of damage. And yeah, that's to be expected against the chaff units as they are hitting the larger models. I mean, obviously something like Blood Knights would do better at this, but yeah, you still gotta love the Hex Rates and their healing and their resistance. Plus, they can run away and heal up to full and then go back into the fray. Although I suppose the Blood Knights can do that too, but they're a lot more expensive, aren't they? Anyway, over here we finally getting the first use out of... Did I speed it up by accident? Yeah, I did. The first use out of the Tomb Guard. We haven't really had any Tomb Guard on the field this particular campaign yet. And here they are. Looks like the Kepra Guard are here, as well as the... are these Kepra Guard? I think they are. They look like them. No, Nehekara Warriors. I swear I sent the Kepra Guard in here as well. And, oh, there they are. I saw the dual swords. Oh, yeah, these guys have the green... green as opposed to the gold. Well, green and gold, I suppose, armor. And they're going to charge these guys in the side. We're also going to summon our unit of Ushabti right on top of this part of the units, because we don't want to be dropping casket fire right on top of this. And we're still looking pretty good. Despite the fact that our battle lines have been sort of touched here, they're all at full HP, and our main line, the crook here, or the arc, whatever you want to call this, is basically... yeah, it's completely untouched. We still have range fire going. We're still summoning tons upon tons of zombies and skeleton warriors, so everybody here is just gonna hold the line. We will certainly be able to get at least 2 full armies of enemies gone, or dead rather, before they can actually approach us, and before we need to commit the Wights of Stone at Tarn or the Bats or anything like that, which is exactly what we want. Looks like we got another unit of Tomb Guard here fighting our skeleton or zombies, but that's fine. Another Lord drops. And our Hex Wraiths still in the background. They have managed to kill all 3 of those skeleton units and are now moving back. And they've also managed to kill that unit of Ushabti with Great Bow. Our range fire is still being pretty effective here, as all it's doing is hurting the zombies. And this is another reason why we want to be able to keep our zombies and stuff on the field. This time, I don't believe Arkhan had a caster available, so I do send in the Karen Wraiths to hold these guys back. They shouldn't take a crazy amount of damage, plus they're still in the healing phase from the cast of the Realm of Souls, so they should be able to hold the line until we can get a zombie unit or something on the field. I just don't want these guys approaching our main line yet. There will be time for that eventually. There we go. We drive them back a little bit, and I think I decided that they took a little bit too much damage, and I wanted to send in the Wights of Stone at Tarn to at least enjoy themselves a little bit. Gotta love the forces clashing here. Obviously, the Wights are going to obliterate these poor Skeleton Warriors, and even the Tomb Guard. Gotta love this unit. I wish we could build more of them. I wish that there was a special building that we could build that would increase the number of them, because I'd love to get 6 rather than 4 in Arkhan's army. Quite effective, and it looks like the enemy are getting some range fire in, and let's check out our Hex Wraiths in the meantime. So the enemy is kind of moving in, now that the first 2.5, I'd say, or maybe 1.5 armies, I guess this is the remnants of the second army? It's hard to say. So many deaths already on the field that it's hard to say at this point. While these guys are dying piecemeal, so are the enemy moving in piecemeal, which allows us to take out these scattered units that are isolated, and the Hex Wraiths can basically go after all the skeleton archers and all the fragile units with complete impunity, especially as they have Strider and stuff. They can ignore terrain, they can get out very fast, and are ethereal, so they don't really care about the range fire from these non-magical archers. Lovely. Alright, so a charge into these 2 units does pretty good in terms of damage, does even better in terms of morale shock. The Skeleton Archer unit basically immediately starts, well, not crumbling, but almost there. And let's see what we got here. We got more and more skeleton archer units spawning here, and that's exactly what we want, because as soon as these guys are going to be dead, the hex rates are going to have a lot more to work with. Good job, hex rates. Oh, look at them jumping. They're so happy. It's a great debut for these guys. They don't appear to have any different color scheme. I'm pretty sure the blue eye glow is the regular eye glow, so it's not any different. I wish that they had switched just the eye color, if nothing else, for Arkhan, or at least slightly change the colors here. Although I could be wrong. Maybe it is something else. It's really hard to remember whose eyes glow what color. I mean, damn. Glorious. So obviously the hex rates are going to just go to town and destroy all of these range units. There's no kind of chance here. And this flank is doing pretty good. The enemy army is surrounded. This enemy sub-army is surrounded and is getting wrecked. I do love how we have various units fighting at the same time. We got two types of Tomb Guard, the Kemper Guard, the Usirian's Legion of the Underworld, and our own Ushabti, smacking all of these poor idiots around. And they're their own Tomb Guard, so they are sticking around a little bit longer than I would have expected from the Skeleton Warriors, for obvious reasons, as they have pretty damn high melee defense. And damn, the map is lagging a little bit, but that's not surprising, considering how many units are on the field. Plus, it's not really lagging all that much. So I think we're still doing pretty good. You can see Snuggles' tail just snapping in the background here. And man, we still have a little bit of ammunition left, and are still doing a lot of damage. The caskets are absolutely showing their worth here. We still got more zombies on the field yet again. Arkhan also showing his worth with those repeated summons, and just keeping the enemy from doing anything and getting close to our battle lines. And yeah, our caskets are going to kill some of our own zombies, but that's certainly helpful. I wish there was another couple levels to Realm of Souls. Maybe there should be like a technology that unlocks several more levels. And ooh, right into a blob of enemy units right there. That was amazing. And yeah, it looks like this little portion of the enemy is going to finally get through. I do get our caster moving forward, summon a Skull Storm on top of the enemy as well. Not a spell we've used too many times this episode, or this particular campaign, but it certainly comes in handy here, as all it does is kill enemies and some of our own zombies. I wish it could move this way instead of this way, but it's still definitely achieved something. This one unit basically got completely deleted by the Skull Storm. So, oh, and did it just start to move back there now? Okay, and now we're moving Arkhan and the Necrotech back, and here come the Whites of Stone Rat Tarn, recharging again. They did reform their formation, as you guys can see. The two before charged the Skeleton Warriors that were over here, but now they reformed and are getting ready to charge again. Skeleton Warriors are not going to do anything here to these guys. They just will not break through. I don't think they can even damage them, really. Alright, let's take a look at the rest of the battlefield. The Hex Rates actually took some damage. They did destroy several of these units, and several units remained hurt, but they got charged by several units of Ushabti in turn, which did the damage. I think it was mainly this one that took the damage there. And then obviously we do the exact same thing. We move to the sides until the units disappear into stock, and then they can go and move hidden and then recharge as soon as these units are no longer protected. And looky, the enemy summoned a unit of Screaming Skull Catapults. Well, that's going to be perfect for the Hex Rates in a few seconds. And honestly, distracting the Ushabti is probably a good thing, just because they are those are Ushabti that are not going towards the main battle line, which is allowing us to basically, you know, kill everything with impunity as well. Hex Rates are really working for me here. There we go, and now it's time for the Cairn Wraiths to shine as well. So, let's take a look at what we're doing here. We have their main battle line, then here in the center we have 1, 2, 3, 4, all 4 units of Cairn Wraiths. They moved all the way over here and did the exact thing as the Hex Wraiths did and charged out of the side. This is sort of right into the middle of the enemy formation, which sort of stops the reinforcements from gathering and having critical mass enough to move through. We're also out of ammunition on all of our Skeleton Archers and basically out of ammunition on all of our Caskets, who can't get any more kills, but I think they've done more than their fair share. The Hex Rates are also starting to move back in and continue doing this whole, you know, hit and run tactic sort of deal that they've been doing. They've certainly been keeping all the enemy range units out of the battle completely, which is great, because we basically have complete range superiority just because of the Hex Rays. And look, it's a Necro Sphinx and another Cameron War Sphinx. They are going to start chasing the Karen race, and they do a pretty good job. Like, that one charge destroyed like 5 of these guys. Huh, I wonder if this thing does magical damage. I actually don't remember. This is a regular Cameron War Sphinx, not a Lord. And this is, I think, a regular Necro Sphinx as well. But these guys took a ton of damage. It could be just due to the AoE. I gotta remember to check what kind of damage these guys do. Hey. Stop firing. Rude. Alright, and obviously these guys are going to once again do the exact same thing as the Hexwraiths like to do, which is melt back into the dunes and make use of their speed. We are also finally going to commit our bats. The Hexwraiths are going to town in the background over here, and the vast majority of the enemy monstrous or construct units have moved away, with the exception of the Ushapti with Great Bow and these 2 units of Ushapti over here. But now that the War Sphinx and the Necro Sphinx are gone, the bats can help the Hex Wraiths. Just tie enemies up, prevent them from running, which will allow the Hex Wraiths to keep dealing the damage and charging these guys. So down go the bats, dropping on all these guys, even dropping on the Ushapti with Great Bow and stopping them in their tracks. There we go. Good job, bats. You can't run from the bats, apparently. I mean, this is one of the annoying things about bats when you're playing against them, too. They charge your range units, and your range units can't get away, and then this happens. This really works out. Everything is meshing together quite well. Alright, Ushapti are not actually charging the bats, surprisingly enough. They probably could have done some decent amounts of damage there, but apparently they decided not to. And now it looks like the enemy army is about shattered. Everything is debilitated and crumbling over here. You can see everything is crumbling in army losses. The battle lines were never in question. While we did take some damage to some of our units, it was barely any. Let's be honest here. Oh man, they committed so many units to this. Ooh, let's watch these, let's watch the Necro Sphinx. I don't think we've seen a Necro Sphinx this campaign yet either. So Necro Sphinx versus just a ton of Karen Wraiths over here. Not really a great matchup for the Necro Sphinx. Necro Sphinxes are terrible against mobbed infantry. They're single target, large entity units. They didn't really have the AoE, and it got overrun just like an Oliphant in Lord of the Rings, basically. Look at all these scythes. I love you guys. I'm so glad we finally got them in. And charging the Ushapti now. Some Ushapti drop, and of course they're debilitated, so they're going to drop much faster than they would if they were healthy, but it's still really fun to see those. And then it looks like one Cameron War Sphinx remains. I take it that's a regular one. It's about to pop as well. Down it goes. The explosion was above it instead of internal for some reason. And a heroic victory for our relatively unhurt forces. Absolutely amazing work by the Hex Wraiths and by Arkhan, I gotta say. Ooh, there we go. 1,200 units on the field. The entire enemy army destroyed, and us lost less than 10% of our, just under 10% of our freaking force. Damn. Let's just see how everybody did here. I gotta give it up to the Hex Wraiths. I mean, running around in the back lines, obliterating unit after unit of range units and some melee units as well. This one got over 600 kills. That's pretty intense. 69, almost 70k damage. Very, very nice. And of course, the caskets always do well, but, I mean, I thought they'd get more kills in this, oddly enough, because I feel like they've broken 1,000 or gotten to near 1,000 a couple of times before, but obviously they still did amazingly well. That's a third of the enemy army just killed by the 3 caskets. They even managed to run out of ammo at the end there, which is not something we see very often. Everybody else was mostly holding line, so didn't do a crazy amount of damage, but let's see. This particular unit of this Legion unit got very decent damage. So did the Usirian's Legion of the Underworld, as they always do. The Cairn race, at least a couple of them did very okay. These ones that got more kills. We also got fairly decent use out of the Kepra Guard, and then of course the Tomb Guard were holding the line. The Bats came in mostly at the end, and the few range units we had, i.e. the Skeleton units, ran out of ammo. Now, what the hell is that noise? It's coming from the game. I need to make it go away. Let's go harvest organs. Huh, and there we go. Wait, oh, it's a noise from the Black Pyramid. Ah, okay. I was wondering what the hell that was. Okay, noise from the Black Pyramid. We got a Dragon Main Gem, which we don't really care about. A Sword of Battle, which we once again don't care about. We care about this. Arkhan, go to Black Pyramid. Occupied. It'll be at level 4, I take it. Yeah, but we do keep the Vault of Nagash here. I take it, is that the main building? Yeah, it is. Alright, so what does this do? Plus 50 Winds of Magic powers are very nice. Lord Recruit rank plus 3, certainly helpful. Hero Recruit rank plus 3, Vampire Corruption, and some magic resistance. Well, on top of that, Sepulchrex, special unit of Ushabti. Hello. Now, what do you do? Anti-infantry, armor-piercing melee, causes terror, and are capable. What do they have here? Ravenous Hunger. Oh, they have regeneration. And Dread of the Dead Gods. Reduce enemy leadership by 25 around self. Oh, lovely. Especially considering we're going to... we're building our Ushabti army. Absolutely lovely. Storm of Necromancy, Faction Destroy the Sentinels. Man, that certainly took a while. Let's see. We don't need the Royal Barracks here. We need to build only upper tier stuff here. We definitely need growth here. Wow. 83 growth per turn is going to take forever to get to the final rank. Now, does this thing give money? It doesn't really give that much money. But at the 5th level, we can get the Coming of Nagash unlocked. So that is this, which means a lot of power-ups. Casualty replenishment rate, but more importantly, Curse of Years in Van Hell's Danse Macabre being bound to everybody. That's lovely. Oh, they're bound, but they're not free, unfortunately. But still, it's pretty good. Alrighty, now, you gotta level up Arkhan, and that is not surprising at all. We're gonna get you Tomb Strike, and you are 10 points remaining. I don't know whether we're gonna go for Necro Strike. I might not bother. I might just go for the Wind of Death. We still probably need to get Resurrect just to get this, so we need to pick one of these other lines. I've been waiting on that. Okay, you, Mr. Necrotect, you are going for Strengthened Incantations because you are going to switch armies. In fact, we're probably going to do it in a sec. We can delete some of these bats. We can't get any more Hex Wraiths or Cairn Wraiths here. Although we probably need to. I guess we could just trade... we could just trade some bats to Arkhan's army temporarily, or give him back some of these Nehekar warriors until they're ready to get replaced. And Snuggles has been very, very useful for a long time, but he does need to... I mean, I guess he can stay in here for now. We could get rid of the Necrotect and the Skeleton Archer unit for 2. They'll get replaced by more Wraiths later, and Snuggles will get replaced... maybe. I'll think about it. He's been with us since the start. I did want to put him into the eventual Tomb Scorpion army, but I guess it doesn't necessarily have to be that way. Alright, so you're still recruiting you. Oh, we also got the Necro Sphinx special unit. I guess we could put that into Arkhan's army temporarily. Now, where are these? 8 turns to recruit the Sepulchrex. Wow. Okay, that's going to take ages. Okay, I think what we don't do then is we stop global recruitment here. And In fact, wait, the Necropolis Knights and stuff. Yeah, I'm thinking that maybe we go over here to the Black Pyramid to recruit the last of the Ushabti there. Probably better off doing that. In the meantime, what we should also do is... Oh, we can't build this locally, can we? Damn it, I wanted to recruit another one of these damn... Screaming Skull Catapults. They're gonna take forever. Is there anywhere... Okay, you can upgrade... You know what? Let's get that here, and let's send you to Numas. We'll get that here. I want a couple more Screaming Skull Catapults, and I want the Bone Giant. In fact, I think we can get the Bone Giant right now, but we can't get the... wait, no, I don't see a Bone Giant. Okay, well then next turn. Look, Oasis. Okay, yeah, next turn. That'll give us one Bone Giant. We'll put it in there, but yeah, we'll wait for it. Okay, Assassins, you need to start moving forward out here. Wait, are you an assassin? Oh, you're an army blocker. Yeah. All the assassins go out here. King Wakov, get ready to start recruiting your special ghouls there. And I guess we need to start thinking about who to turn on now. Probably going to have to destroy the Skaven. Queek is in our way, and Khalid's doing a good job killing him, but we do need Lamia and Libaras for ourselves. I'm actually surprised that there is no special building at Libaras. It's the court of Libaras, and there's no building here. Maybe it's not special enough. But at least Lamia is. Okay, is there anything else we need to do this turn? We don't really have any money to build anything, so probably should just leave the rest alone. Alright, and unassigned skill points on who? Pen 2, we're saving those points because you're almost rank 7. So we can end this turn. Go. Alrighty, so, wait, this says that there's a pyramid and a special building here, but there's only one building, huh? Warriors of Chaos, oh right, I still have to remember to build those damn defensive buildings along the coastline. Military alliances, Kurun, Middenland, Border Princes, and the Empire. Not surprising whatsoever. But it will be something we'll have to deal with as the Order Tide comes in once again, as it always does. So, what do we get here? We definitely need the growth building here, absolutely. We probably do not need the Catacomb Watches. Doesn't really do anything for us here, so let's delete that. Arkhan, you... Wait, let's trade troops temporarily. Now I'm just thinking, what if we put the Sphinx of Usek in this army? Now the thing is, we are going to get rid of it. It's probably going to go into the army that's going to be having several Necro Sphinxes and Cameron War Sphinxes, but we could put this in Arkhan's army temporarily. Do we really need to? Does Arkhan really need the help? That's the real question here. I mean, when he's fighting Khalida, he might. Alright, you know what? Let's do that. Let's have you go right here. We will take 2 Nehekar warriors. We'll give you this guy and this guy. Where's the Necrotech? Yeah, because you're going to the Ushabti army. Okay, so that'll make Arkhan 20 out of 20, and if we want, we could just delete one of the Nehekar warriors and replace it with the Necro Sphinx, should we see fit to do so. There we go. Now, Arkhan, you could start marching on towards Queek. And you are going to march all the way over here to Numas. There we go, wherein you can make a couple Screaming Skull Catapults for yourself. Okay, we will also need to start sending a couple of assassins this way as well. Oh, we still need to take Qatar as well. I completely forgot about it. And you, Ghoulman, go to Galbaraz, please. And it's time to start recruiting those special ghouls. So you can recruit 4 of them, correct? They take 4 turns to recruit. Man, look at all these special units we still haven't recruited. Especially all these special Tomb Guard. Okay. Well, the Tomb Guard army is going to have to do that. Alright, you 3. Out. You 4. In. Perfect. Okay, that will be Wakov's army complete, so we won't have to deal with the ghoul stuff any longer. You're an assassin too, right? Yeah, wound, specialist, blah, blah, blah. I guess you need to keep out here. We are going to be fighting the orcs sooner rather than later, so you two assassins out here, and then we'll have the army blocker go find Queek. What are you? Oh, you have to go to the, you have to go to the Black Tower. You're the moneymaker. Go make us some money. Alright, you two are going to go into new armies. Man, there's so much admin stuff to do after this. Okay, oh my word, that's a lot of stuff to build as well. We need more money. We're going to send one of these armies out into the water. I just don't know which army to where yet. Also, almost tempted to cancel the recruitment of the Necro Sphinxes here. Or not the Necro Sphinxes, the Necro Serpents. I.e. the Necropolis Knights riding the Necro Serpents. Once this is done, we will be at 10 out of 20. 11 out of 20 when we count the whatchamacallit, the Necrotech that's coming here. And then we'll have another 6, 7. That's 18 out of 20, which will actually be too much because we can get 3 of these guys, right? The special units. So we're almost done with the Ushabti army. I just want to double check that it is in fact 3. They're at the end here somewhere. Here they are. Yeah, it's 3. And we'll get 3 of these Sepulchrex units. Alright, so we'll have to delete one of the regular Ushabti, one of the Bow Ushabti, whichever. It doesn't really matter. What does matter is that when you're done, you will be... And I have to figure out where else to send these Sepulchral Stalkers. I gotta put them somewhere. We already have one army with 4 of them. But this army is not the one that's going to be holding them. This army is going to have the Zandri Black Shields, led by the Scorpion Legion, along with the Krokagar Legion and the Rangers. So this, I will probably send this army out to sea, in fact. It's going to be a little bit basic, but maybe we'll just compensate by putting a couple of Caskets of Souls in there, and that should be able to be enough to handle most stuff, and certainly anything that the sea can throw at us. I will build the buildings at the start of the next episode, or between the episodes, rather, I think. Now you're going to need to go back because you need to trade units as well. Alright, so back you go. Ooh, or we could start sending you out to where? Let's see. Numas can get you these things. Where are the other... Yeah, we need to find all the places that allow us to build these special guard. Now, that's the Golden Host of Mahrok. Alright, Kasabar and Bagar. Okay. So that means you can go right here, and then go into Bagar, and then start recruiting those. We'll get rid of some of the bats. Okay, that makes perfect sense to me. And then we'll move on to the Spring of Eternal Life after that. This will save us like 6 turns in recruitment. Because we can build the Mahrok Guard in 3 turns here, and then these guys from here as well. There's somewhere else... Oh, it's Kasabar that has the other one, isn't it? No, that's Krokagar Legion. Where's the third one from, damn it? This is 1. So it's Numas. It's Numas, Bagar. Where the hell is the third one from? It's not Khemri. And, oh, damn, I forgot to build you. Okay, before I forget, let's get the Great Incantation of Ptra going. Pop you into Gorgazan. I've been forgetting that for ages now. Now, where is this guy? Where'd he get spawned? Does he spawn by Arkhan? He does indeed spawn by Arkhan. Okay. So you are going to go recruit this, or build there, rather. Okay, everybody else seems pretty good to me. Anything else we're looking at? I guess we could just end the turn other than the buildings. I'm not going to assign the skill points now because I could do that between the episodes. I guess let's take a look at what we can build here. We do need to upgrade this to level 4. There's also a bunch of military, or rather, money-making buildings we need to build. Ooh, and next turn it looks like a Desecrated Sepulchre that should be built as well. You are still in construction. Yeah, I should really take a look at some of these commandments between the episodes as well. I'm gonna remind myself to do that. We don't technically need this right now because the Ushabti army is more or less finished. So that's pretty good. What we do need is another complete Desecrated Sepulchre, but we can do that next turn. You know what? I think that means we can freely get the Restored Tomb and keep upgrading the money-making stuff. And we'll replace all this stuff with money-making stuff as well. Hopefully we can get the Black Tower of Arkhan to making something like 4 to 5k per turn, just alone, because that would be ideal. Anyway, let's end this turn. That should upgrade another one of our Great Pyramid things. So +2 for all vampiric units. Fighting against Tomb Kings. Ooh, yes, global recruitment capacity. This will really help us. Alright, so let's do that. Just to see if anything interesting happens. Obviously, there's not really much time to do anything, but... hey, you never know. Alright, Warriors of Chaos... wonder if we'll ever have to deal with them. Ooh, hello, Crooked Moon Mutinous Gits are right here. Oh, wow, what the hell just happened? Yeah, Anlushan, Necrotech, ready for duty. I forgot that you were dead. You're another army blocker, come out here. Great Pyramid of Arkhan is complete, so we can get another one of these going. Diplomatic relations with vampires I don't really care about. We could get even more magic power reserve. Considering how much we already have, it's pretty intense. I feel like that's probably the best thing that we can do right now. It's for every army, after all, so technically buffs every single thing. The other two can wait. I don't really care about this because we haven't... don't really have contact with the other vampire factions. The ones we do with are basically dead. And this is just too small of a buff. So after we do Ancient Glyph of Power, we will do a couple more upgrades out of this stuff, out of the regular upgrades, and then we'll go to the next dynasty. In fact, it's probably likely that we'll just do another dynasty out of the Mortuary Cult before that. I mean, we're doing pretty good in Canopic Jars, and we can get 20k pretty darn easily, especially if we send an army out to sea. So, yeah. Alright, 2 more turns, and then the Ushabti army will depart. Maybe we'll send the Ushabti army to start dealing with the Orcs, along with the Ghoul army. Yeah, I have to figure out what armies to send where as well. Okay, now you should be able to build 2 more of these Screaming Skull catapults, which is exactly what I wanted. There we go. And you can technically build a Bone Giant now, but it's going to take you, what, like 6 turns? It's not horrible. It really depends on how much global recruitment the others are doing. I mean, it's unfortunate that you can't build it here. Also, 6 turns is a long time. Hey, you know what? I think we'll wait on that. We'll just go with 4 of these. Arkhan, you move up. We're basically going all artillery and no range units with these 2 armies. Qatar is next on the chopping block, so let's move in. Alrighty, all the buildings I will deal with between the episodes, as I've already said. You, just so I don't forget, are going to go into Bagar, and you're going to get rid of some of your bats. And you're going to locally recruit these special... Tomb Guard unit. Mahra Guard and Guardians of the Alabaster Tower. Yeah, so let's get rid of these 4 bats. Because we can always recruit bats from basically anywhere. So 1, 2, and then 1, 2. You're going to be here for 4 turns, and then you'll need to move out to the Springs of Eternal Life to get the Sphinx Legion of Numos, which is neither one of these, right? No. Okay, perfect. All of the special units are soon going to be on the field. I'm incredibly excited. And wait, you can actually recruit more Tomb Guard here. You know what? Let's get rid of these Skeleton Archers. We're going to trade the Regiment of Renown to the other army, but this army is going to have Necro Sphinxes and Tomb Guard, so it doesn't really need the rest of this stuff. Krokogar Legion is also going to go into that other one. Let's get you, like so. Probably going to be way too many Tomb Guard in here now. Maybe we don't even need this many. You know what? Let's do like this, because we'll get 2 more out of the special ones here. And then, let's say 4, maybe 6 Necro Serpents, i.e. Necropolis Knights. Probably 2 with spears, and then 4 with... No, 4 with spears and 2 with halberds, I think. Just because we're less likely to run into larger units than we are... well, wait, are they both anti-large? I no longer remember. What's the difference? You guys have spears, right? Or are you anti-infantry? Hey. Right here. Hello? Can you please pin? No, they refuse to pin. Okay. That's annoying. Oh, come on, game. Come on. I just want to see. Okay, there's another way to do it then. We can go into here. I can take a look at them here. We got you, anti-large, so you're the halberds. You are anti-infantry. Okay, yeah, so we want 4 anti-infantry and 2 anti-large, and then the rest will be all Tomb Guard. Maybe some caskets. I'll think about it. It really depends on what I do with the the basic unit army, whether we put some caskets in there or not. We still need to keep popping caskets, though, every 9 turns. I really skipped a few of those just to save money, and I really shouldn't have done that. Anyway, there's a lot more admin stuff to do this turn. I'm going to do the rest between the episodes because nothing particularly interesting happened at the end of the day, but after that fight at the Black Pyramid wore me out a little bit, even if it wasn't too intense in terms of controlling it. It was a lot of killing, plus it took a long time, and I still have to comment over it after this episode, and then splice it together and all that stuff that usually has to be done. So yeah, next time we will start the war with Queek, immediately take Qatar. I'm curious what kind of special units we get out of it while we're at it, or at least I hope that we get some special units out of it, just because there's a Great Pyramid and a special location or strategic location here. And then let's see. Well, we probably won't destroy Queek in a single episode, but I doubt it'll take more than 2. He appears to only have 4 provinces. Maybe he has 1 more, but I doubt it's going to be that frightening. In fact, let's just identify what we're fighting next turn. Qatar, show yourself. Alright, there we go. Hidden settlement revealed. It's walled, but there is no army in it. It's a decent garrison, but it looks pretty auto-resolvable. Just got runners and stuff. We just end up destroying it with artillery. Karagarud, on the other hand, is their capital, so we should have a very nice fight coming out of that, especially if Queek is in there. We do want to give the defeated Queek buff to Arkhan, though I don't remember what the buff is. Probably not nearly as good as a bunch of other buffs. Really need to find Isabella, but at least Krogar's down here and we can get the Sora Smiter buff. Anyway, that's all a problem for next time. So with that said, as always, I do appreciate any and all feedback with regards to the gameplay or the way I do things on this channel. If you have a second, please do take it to leave a like and the right comment to support the channel. It really does help. As always, all glory to the algorithm, and thanks for watching.